Hi Scorpio, welcome back to the Astrology 30 channel. This is your March 2022 tarot reading. Thank you to those of you who liked, viewed, shared, subscribed, and donated to the channel. I appreciate all of that. For those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, take out the coral spread as always, and I also pulled an oracle card or a Mudra card for you guys. But we're actually going to start the reading off by rolling those astrology dice we have in front of us to get an idea of where your focus will be as far as that goes. So let's see what we get. Alright, we have Mars. And Mars actually is going to be in Capricorn for the first week of March. Then it's going to move into Aquarius. So moving from your third house to your fourth house. We have Scorpio. So focus on you guys this month. There's actually Scorpio energy in the main spread as well. So it looks like you guys just might be focusing a bit more on yourselves this month. And 3. So 3, third house communication, and that's Capricorn energy for you guys. Obviously, we had the Venus retrograde there. The Mercury retrograde moved in there as well. So there's plenty of energy going on in your third house. Pluto's been there forever. That's your ruler. So yeah, definitely some focus on communication for you guys as well. All right, so moving on to the main spread. In the main situation position, we have the King of Cups. So this is actually the court card for your sign. So, like we said with the dice as well, could just be focusing on yourselves a bit this month, possibly feeling a bit withdrawn, especially as the energies moving through Aquarius start to wrap up, because that's your fourth house of home, family, your mother. So you could just be, a lot more introspective during that time. And then we'll have the energy start to move into your fifth house of Pisces. So it could just be one of those phases where you're just riding that out a bit. But what stands out to me with the artwork here is it looks like his throne is basically just in the middle of the water. So sometimes I view this as a bit of an isolation type of energy too. So yeah, that's what I see with that. All right, in challenger obstacle position, quite a few cards came up. We have the 10 of Cups, Pisces energy. Judgment, which I view as Scorpio energy as well. The Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter energy, so we see Pisces again in there. And we have the Queen of Pentacles, which is Capricorn energy, which is your third house communication. So a lot to unpack with this, right? But I feel like this is saying, really, the challenge for you guys is to reconnect with a vision, is what I'm getting from this, So for example, if this is where you saw your life headed, for example, maybe you've disconnected from that for a bit. Like I said, it seems like you've been a bit more isolated lately, maybe not communicating with others as much, keeping yourselves a bit more. And like we said, astrologically speaking, that could point to why. But I feel like with the judgment energy come up here, it could just be saying that it's bringing you back up, right? Bringing you back to life in a way, asking you to be a bit more involved with people, right? Could just be saying that the timing's right, especially Jupiter transiting your fifth house with romance, creativity, children. So that could be a lot more of a bright, playful energy for you guys. And with the Queen of Pentacles, though, I feel like this is saying that you're still a bit reserved around that, though. So I feel like this is primarily pointing to the challenge there, right? Where these are the more supportive energies that might be trying to nudge you forward. But there's still that holding on energy that you guys have there with the Queen of Pentacles. And like I said, plenty of things have happened in your third house communication that might make you feel that way, like a bit withdrawn. Maybe you felt like you were very misunderstood lately, possibly even questioning if it was worthwhile saying certain things, right? But yeah, that's what I'm seeing with that. All right, in the foundation position, we have the World. So I view this usually as Capricorn energy and also North Node energy. So the North Node recently moved into your opposite sign, and the South Node is in your sign. So it could just be saying that you're going to experience a lot of growth, and the key to you experiencing that growth is going to be through interacting with others, right? So when we think of seventh house relationships, we often think of just romantic partnerships, but that could be just partnerships of all kinds. So I feel like this is what it's saying, where it's asking you to get out there, put yourselves out there. That's going to be the key to your growth during the cycle. And even if there was a bit of an isolation phase that you guys have gone through, I feel like this is saying that even that might have been necessary. But with this in the foundation, I feel like it's saying that that should be coming to a close for you guys now. All right, in the past position, we have the Nine of Wands. So this is Sagittarius energy here. Could just be saying that you might have been feeling overwhelmed, and that could have been part of why you withdrawn, right? Maybe you just had a lot on your plate. Maybe you had financial concerns that were bogging you down for a bit. Maybe you felt like just trying to keep up with all that could have just been wearing you down as well. Could just even be pointing to a timeline as well, saying that maybe during Sagittarius season, some things might have taken place that had you a bit guarded and possibly closed you off for a bit. And now as we move into more mutable energy, back then in Sagittarius, now we're moving through Pisces as we get through March. Could just be saying that you're viewing things from a different perspective. All right, present position, we have the Page of Cups. So I view this almost as like a reintegration energy, right? So if we look at the artwork there's that fish coming out of the water, which for one, that could make you think of the Pisces symbol, but also I feel like this is saying you're like reintegrating yourselves, I feel, right? So if this Page of Cups energy, that's getting yourselves back out there again, right? Obviously, like we said, your natural card is the King of Cups, and the Page is below that, of course, but I feel like this is just saying that you're ramping back up, reintroducing yourselves, possibly even around emotions, but just communication, creativity in general, I feel. All right. In the near future position, we have the Ten of Swords. So this is a Gemini energy here, and I feel like this is saying this is more pointing to an ending of that isolation period that you've gone through, especially if you look at his hand there. If we put this back in the spread, he's pointing right toward that King of Cups. And I wouldn't always get isolation energy with the King of Cups, but given the cards that we saw in the challenge, that's really the primary theme that I was getting with that. And I feel like in that regard, this is saying that there's an end coming to that energy for you guys, to where, overthinking a situation, possibly just replaying thoughts in your mind over and over. I feel like that's wrapping up for you guys, and you're actually getting yourselves back out there. And if this is a period where you do feel still like a bit blocked, I would say that maybe it would last a week and a half at most. All right, and in a position of your influence in the situation, we have the Three of Pentacles. So this is actually Capricorn energy. So again, we see that third house energy. And yeah, I feel like, again, this is you guys being in a bit more of a collaborative mood and reconnecting with the vision, right? We were talking about the vision with the cards that came up in a challenge position for you guys. So this is what I feel like this is pointing to again, right? What do you hope to see for yourselves? What do you hope to build? I feel like this is some communication around that and actually putting in the work toward that, possibly even collaborating with others to help build that vision. So that's what I see with that. All right. In the environment position, we have the Chariot. So this is the major arcana card for Cancer. And for you guys, that's your ninth house. So this could just be saying you might be seeing things from a higher perspective, a different perspective, and also the same way I see the World card as North Node energy. To me, this reminds me of the nodes as well, because when we do talk about the North Node, South Node, those are actually the nodes of the Moon. And given that the Chariot is Cancer energy, ruled by the Moon, I view this as a indicator of nodal shifts as well and moving you guys forward. So yeah. Looks like it's just saying that the environment's kind of nudging you forward right now. So I feel like I said, for whatever reason, you might have been made to ride out a bit of low energy cycle for a bit, but now you're actually being nudged forward somewhat as we get through March. And I mean, this could represent someone in your environment as well, if it's not necessarily your energy, but for the majority of you, I feel like this is pointing more to your energy and what you're going to be feeling. But this could be someone in your environment as well who's ready to move. Possibly will nudge you forward as well. All right. In the hopes or fears position, we have the Four of Cups. So if we just look at the artwork here, I doubt that this is a hope for many people. So this is probably a fear of yours. And again, like I said, I feel like you might have gone through a period where you lost faith in your vision, right? So I feel like this is that fear of getting more of what you don't want, right? So I always point out to people, though, whether this seems like a super bright or a super negative card in this position, it's just hopes or fears. So it's more of something that's on your mind as opposed to an indicator of what will actually play out. So yeah, but that does look like a fear that you might have that, okay, I'm just going to keep getting more of what I don't want, right? So you could have just gone through a bit of a dark cycle, but it seems like you'll be coming out of that. And speaking of which, in the outcome position, we have the Six of Swords. So this is Aquarius energy here, which for you guys is your fourth house. But again, the artwork speaks to moving to calmer waters, right? So for some of you, that could even be what the shift might be about, right? Where it wasn't necessarily that you were disconnected from emotions, but maybe it's more of realizing, okay, not all emotions are good, right? So maybe you've been through a cycle of the more negative emotions, right? And now you're moving toward more positive emotions, realizing that it's not necessarily delving into emotions that's a bad thing, but more of what kind of emotions are you dealing with, right? So, it could be passionate energy towards arguments or passionate energy toward love, you know what I mean? So one of those like push pull dynamics that you might have been feeling for a bit, and now you're like, okay, I think I'm good with the negative emotions. I'm trying to move more toward the positive, uplifting type of emotions. But yeah, that's what I see with that. And bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. So yeah, definitely looks like there's going to be some forward movement for you guys. If there was some kind of financial blockages that you guys might have been going through that we saw possibly in the past there, this could be another indicator that you'll start to see some forward movement with that as well. But yeah, definitely pretty positive there. And moving on to your four agreements card, we have don't make assumptions. There we go. It says communicate with clarity. And let's see what it says. Okay. It says communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. If all humans would communicate with impeccability of the word, all of our relationships would change. There would be no wars, no violence, no misunderstandings. So yeah, for some of you that could be what it is. Like I was talking about with the isolation energy that I was getting from you guys, and the fact that we did see the 3 come up there, which is your third house communication. Maybe with all, like we mentioned, the Mercury retrograde went from Aquarius into your third house communication, which is Capricorn. The Venus retrograde was there as well, so communication definitely could have been a rough go for you guys for a bit. Totally understandable if that's the case. So yeah, you might have just felt like, okay, might have just driven you to a point of frustration where like, okay, no matter what I'm saying, it's being taken the wrong way, right? So you might have just withdrawn for that reason. But at the time I'm recording this, technically Mercury hasn't cleared its shadow just yet, and neither has Venus. But when we're actually physically in March, both of them will be done with their shadow periods. You'll be totally in the clear there, so that might free up that energy for you guys for sure. All right, moving on to your Wisdom of the Oracle card, we have Breathed. There's the artwork, and the number is 29. Okay, it says patience, waiting, going slowly, wellness, meditation, trust. The Oracle's message: patience in all things is called for right now. What do you need to do when you're in a rush? Slow down, of course, meditate and trust. Breathe and repeat. Humans cannot exist without drawing breath. Now is the time to allow the life-giving element of air to replenish your body, your being, and your very essence. Stop to smell the roses, breathe in the sunlight, and release the darkness, and miracles will appear. So, pretty positive message there. Interestingly enough, I definitely don't get an energy at all of you guys rushing around at all. But maybe it's just one of those things where you might have been trying to put effort towards situations and it might not have been moving as smoothly as you would have liked. But the good thing is, if that's the case, like we mentioned with the astrological aspects playing out in March, it will feel a lot easier to get those same things done. So could just be pointing to that, where it's going to take you less effort to accomplish what might have taken you a lot more to accomplish in recent months. All right, the relationship message says don't be in too much of a hurry right now. The heart needs time to open. Take a breath and let nature take its course. Release constriction and anxiety, for there is no need for tension. Savor the moment, and the waiting won't prove difficult. Your heart knows what the ego often resists learning. Patience pays off in deep and meaningful ways. So, pretty positive message there, and I will say that message aligns with the Three of Pentacles energy there. It definitely isn't an energy of rushing in or anything. It's definitely an energy of taking things slow and building something that's actually going to have a good possibility of lasting and that you'll be happy with. All right, the prosperity message says you have worked long and hard, your dreams are coming to fruition, and you want to hurry things along. You are the slow one moving languidly, yet still progressing right now in a rhythm dictated by your authentic nature, the essence of your dream, and the will of the universe. Slow and steady wins the race. You will indeed win if you relax, stay the course, trust your intuition, and breathe. Pretty positive message there as well. And again, that actually draws me right back to that Three of Pentacles energy. So for a lot of you, I feel like you will be in the zone that they're talking about there. So hopefully that resonated. All right, and lastly, we have a Mudra for you guys. This is your Mudra here. It's the Mahashirsha Mudra, and the keyword for it is relief. All right, and there we go. There's the info on it if you want to pause it or take a screenshot to read what it has to say. But under benefits, it says relieves headache, reduces tension in the eyes, breaks up congestion in the frontal sinuses, improves mental clarity. So if that sounds like a Mudra you think would be beneficial for you guys, so we'll put the name of it in the description of the video as always. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you guys next month. All right, bye.